Okay, guys, we can start now.
Yes,
Let me present my screen. So, good evening, all guys. Hope you are doing well. So, today is our first lecture, and we will start with our first lecture from Java itself. And Monday onwards, we can do simultaneously manual as well as Java session. Hope my voice is clear.
Yes, sir.
yes,
Okay.
sir.
Board is visible to all. Please confirm, guys. Board is
Yes.
visible to all.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, okay, guys, in today's section, we are going to learn data types. So, in demo lecture, we have seen how Java will works. So, listen carefully, guys. From today onwards, our actual syllabus will start. Okay. So, listen carefully and take a note of what I am teaching here. So, today we are going to teach or we are going to learn data types. It is a very important part of Java. From today we can start the Java syllabus. So data types we are going to learn today. Data types, it is very important, and from here the actual Java syllabus will start. Okay, so before starting, so let me ask one question. So how many of you are known about data? What is meant by data? So anyone knows? Yes, guys, speak up. Okay, no need to raise a hand. Please speak up. Okay.
Sir, I
Yeah,
know
data is a
eight data types, sir.
What?
Eight data types
No, no. That I
in
know,
Java.
and everyone might be know that there are 8 data types in Java. But what is meant by data?
data
Actually,
is anything. It's a raw
Collection, sir.
information. It's a collection of raw
Collection
items.
of
yes. Data means the collection of information, right?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, and means in other words or in layman words, we can say that the information which describe the property of an object or particular object. So that is called, we can call it as a data. Okay, so before going to data types, I am writing here what is mean by data. Okay, so data is nothing but the collection of information. Data is nothing but the collection of information. Collection of information. Or in other words we can say that, so the information which describe property of an particular object. For example, here I am taking one object, that is one pen. Here pen is a object. So pen is having property, and it's what is the property of pen?
The property of pen, it should write. We can
Right,
use for
yes.
writing.
For writing we can use the pen. So the property of pen is to write. Rightly said by whom I uh, can't see the name. Okay, so pen is a object. So the that object having the one property, that is the to write. So data types also having means some objective in data types. So how many data types in Java? So we can learn there are two data types in Java. So data types in, okay, next slide I can write. So data types having two types in Java. So one is a primitive data type and other one is non-primitive data type. Okay, guys. One is First one is primitive data type. or in short form we can say PDT, and in other words or other data types, that is non-primitive data type.
Their screen is not visible.
Not visible, everyone, for everyone.
Visible, sir. Visible, sir.
Kindly check
Visible.
at your end,
Visible.
please.
Yeah, it's visible, but actually the color you are using is very light.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's like it seems like a little bit difficult. Can you please change the color?
Yes, yes. So now it's okay.
Yeah, it's better.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
So
okay.
data types having two types. First one is primitive data types, and second one is non-primitive data type. NPDT. We can say first one is primitive and second one is non-primitive data types. Okay. So what is meant by primitive data types? Okay. So we can learn one by one. First, we learn primitive data type. What is meant by primitive data type? And second one is non-primitive data type. So primitive data types. So there are 8 types of primitive data types in Java. 8 types. They are having 8 types primitive data types. First one is, and second one is. So primitive data types having some properties. We can say object having some properties. Like that, data types are also having some properties. So primitive data types having 8 types in Java, and always all primitive data types are written in lower cases. So always all primitive data types I can see written here in short form. Always PDTs are written in lower cases. Lower cases. Okay, and all primitive data types are keywords. So moving forward we can see the what is mean by keywords. So always keep in mind, in interviewer you are asked, when you are going to interview, they might ask, tell me the different data types, and explain the primitive data types. In that we can explain them. So primitive data types having 8 types, and always primitive data types are written in lower cases, and all primitive data types are keywords. So what is mean by keywords, we can learn going forward. So here we can keep in mind that 3 points which I am telling here. And next point of primitive data type is, or it is the last point. So primitive data types having some memory, means memory size of primitive data types are fixed. So memory size of primitive data type, memory size of PDTs are fixed. Okay. So that 4 points keep in your mind. So there are, in Java there are two data types, primitive data types and non-primitive data types. So coming to primitive data types, in Java there are 8 types of primitive data types. Which are they? We are going forward. We can see what is 8 data types and which are they. And always all PDTs or primitive data types are written in lower cases, and all the primitive data types are keywords. So what is meant by keywords? Also I will explain later. Then memory size of the primitive data types are fixed. So this all 4 points are clear to all, guys. Can we move ahead?
Rahul,
Yes,
can you just tell me about the keywords, please?
yes, yes. Going forward, I can tell you after explaining non-primitive data.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. So that 4 point are clear to all.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, which are the 8 data types or primitive data types? So that will we can see here. So 8 PDTs, 8 types. So first one is byte. So what rule can say the primitive data types are written in lower cases. So that's why I am writing here in lower cases. So byte is the first primitive data type. Second one is short. Third one is integer. So we can write here int. Fourth data type is long. Fifth one is double.
Flow.
Please mute yourself, guys. Whole class will get disturbed. Hiralal, please mute yourself. Fifth one is double. Then next one is float. Seventh one is character, that is char. And last one, that is eighth one, is boolean data type. Okay, so hope that is clear to all. So in
Sir, Varchar is a hello.
yes,
Sir, Varchar is also database
yes,
here.
varchar is also data type, but it is not a Java data types. It will use in SQL language, means database. Okay, hope that is clear to all. So in primitive data type, what we have seen here, there are 8 types. Next, it is always written in lower cases, and all primitive data types are keywords, and memory size of all primitive data types are fish. So what is memory size of primitive all that data types? It will be same or different. So dear friends, so all primitive data types memory size is not same. It will be varied or it will be different. So what is the memory size of byte? So it is a one byte. So short having memory size is 2 byte. Integer having memory size is 4 byte. So your understanding purpose, uh, intentionally write this on a sequential level. Sequential. That's why we can while studying you can understand properly. So that's why I writing here. And long memory size is 8 byte. Okay, double also having memory size is 8 byte, and float also having memory size 4 byte. Character also memory size is 2 byte, and boolean is 1 bit. Okay, so we can you can see here. So what happened here, this is going here from decreasing order, and here from decreasing order. Okay, so here decreasing order, here also decreasing order. So for understanding purpose, I intentionally write here. So we can you can take a note of that. So what is the boolean having 1 bit? Because boolean, what boolean save, it is save only false and true. So that's why boolean having only 1 bit memory size. So hope that is clear to all. Okay, Lavika, tell me. You raise your hand.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Accidentally, I hit the button. I'm so sorry for that.
Okay, okay. No worries. So do you understand up to this?
Yes, I do.
Okay, okay. Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
okay. So next point in our
Yes,
primitive.
sir.
Okay, okay. So next point in our primitive data types are, I will explain, it is 8 types. So it is always written in lower cases, and memory size of all primitive data types are fixed. So that 3 points, all of you are clear about these 3 points.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next point is, so what is keywords? Means we can say that all primitive data types are keywords. So what is mean by keywords, and what is the role of keywords then? Okay. So we will discuss what is keywords. So keywords is nothing but it is a predefined words which are used in Java, and keywords having a special meaning. So it is a predefined words which have a special meaning. It is having special meaning, and it is always start with small letters. Keywords are always start with small letters. That's why all non primitive data types are start with smaller letters. So it always start with small letter. Okay. And what is the use of keywords? So keywords are used to perform the specific task. It all are used to perform the specific task. So keywords are used to perform the specific task. Okay. So what are the example of keywords then? So there are in Java there are different types of keywords are there. So I will tell you some keywords. Static is the keywords. Implements also keywords. So all that are examples of keywords. Static, implements, then extends also keywords are there. Extends, throwable, throws also keywords. Then public also keyword. So public, where we are using public. So in main method we can static use public keyword, can use in main method. So going forward we can also learn the main method, so don't worry about that. Then void also the keyword, then main also the keyword, so etc etc. So that all are the examples of keywords. Hope this is clear to all what is meant by keywords. So who asked me to explain keywords, so hope that person also understand. Okay. Okay guys, so this is all
Okay.
about the primitive data types. Is there anyone having problem with primitive data type? So if not, we'll going towards non-primitive data types. This is clear to all guys, primitive data types.
Yes.
Okay, I will explain again. So in data types, there are two types of data in Java: primitive data types, non-primitive data types. So primitive data types having certain rules. So all primitive data types are having 8 types in Java, and always primitive data types are written in lower cases, and all the primitive data types are always keywords, and memory size of the primitive data types are fixed. So what is mean by key, and what are the types of data types, primitive data types? So byte, short, integer, long, double, float, character, and boolean. And what is mean by keyword then? Keywords are the uh, predefined word which are used in Java, and it's having the special meaning, and always keywords are start with the small letters and it is used to perform the specific task. So some examples of keywords are given here. Statics is the keywords, implements also keywords, extends. So where we can use extend, going forward we can learn extend where we can use the extend keywords. So in Selenium we are using the extend keywords. Then also throws keywords there, void, main, so like that. Okay guys, this is clear to all.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
The second data type is non-primitive data type, or we can say NPDT. In okay. So what is mean by non-primitive data types? So here in primitive data types they are fixed. They are having 8 types, but non-primitive data type, so they are infinite in number, means they are not fixed. So we can say these are infinite number. These are infinite in numbers, and all NPDTs are, this is the first point, and all NPDTs are always start with the upper letter or capital letter. It is starts with upper letter, or we can say it is start with capital letter. Okay, so this is the second point regarding the non-primitive data type. And third point is all non-primitive data types are identifiers. So we learn also what is meant by identifier going forward. Identifiers, so all non-primitive data type are identifiers. Okay, and we can learn in primitive data types the memory size of primitive data types are fixed, but here what happened, so non-primitive data types the memory size is not fixed. So memory size is not fixed of non-primitive data type. Memory size is not fixed. Okay, so that these 4 points are clear to all. Okay guys.
Yes.
Okay, so we can then learn. So example of non-primitive data type I can tell here only. Example, suppose string. So string means yes capital in string. String is a non-primitive data type. Then class name also, so etc. Like that. There are multiple example we can see in going forward. So right now I will tell only two here. So that all are the non-primitive data types. So what is mean by the question remains the what is mean by the identifiers then. So we can see these are the infinite in numbers and they start with the upper letter. Here we can say it will start in upper letters or capital letters, and memory size is not fixed. So what is mean by the identifiers then? So what is mean by identifier? So identifiers means it is nothing but the names which are given to the class, methods, variables, or etc. So that is nothing but the identifiers. Identifier, what is mean by identifier? The names which are given to class, methods, variables, etc. So what is mean by class, what is mean by method, what is mean by variable? So all that stuff we are learn going forward. So don't worry about that. So if interviewer asks you what is mean by identifier, so we can tell them. So the name which are given to the class, method or variables. So that is the definition of identifiers. So this is the data types. There are two types of data: primitive data types and non-primitive data types. So you guys tell me the difference. And other question might interview ask you the tell me the difference between the primitive data types and non-primitive data types. Difference between PDT and NPDT. So you guys tell me what is the difference between primitive data types and non-primitive data types.
Primitive data
Primitive
types
data
are
type are fixed in
starting with
size.
the the
So
employer
tell me
cases.
one by one. So I will write here. First one is
Primitive data
Primitive,
types are in writing in lowercase letters,
okay. It is right in lower cases.
and size in fixed size.
primitive data types are size will be fixed.
Okay, size is fixed. Memory size is fixed. Not a size, only memory size. Memory size is fixed. Okay. And third one is
And
Secondly,
it
it
is
is
you. PDT is
keywords.
keywords. Right. All PDTs are keywords.
and it is used to perform this specific task.
Okay.
And PDTs are starts with only lowercase.
Okay. And these are eight types. So main thing you forgot. These are eight types. So you can tell only four or three. So and here NPDTs. So it is always start with
Uppercase letter.
upper cases or capital letters. And size, memory size is not fixed.
Size is not fixed.
Infinite numbers.
And
Identifiers.
identifiers, all NPDTs are identifiers. And last one is
And it's an
these are
infinite
infinite
number.
number.
It's a infinite. Yeah, these are infinites in number.
Or
Is this an infinity numbers or infinite numbers?
infinite means we can count that number. So that is called as infinite number, not a infinity. That one is not.
Infinite means
Like
There are
you
multiple
said,
means
like
we
Not
infinite in
measurable.
number.
not
Yeah,
measurable.
it's
Right.
uncountable. Yeah, it's
Uncountable.
uncountable.
Right.
sir,
That
your voice is breaking. I can't understand properly.
So for everyone, my voice is breaking, guys.
No, sir.
No, no,
No,
I think
sir.
it's an internet issue for him.
So check at your end. This issue is not at my end. So we can say example also here. If there is a static, also then void also the example of primitive data types. Sorry. Mm,
Int char,
in
That
char.
is keywords.
boolean.
Keywords.
Keywords. There char, then int, boolean like that,
Boolean.
etc. And
Float.
example for this is string and
Array string.
class name, etc. Okay, so this is clear to all, guys.
Yes, sir.
So now we can see so how the what is the use of byte and all that. So we can learn also. So first one is non-primitive data type. First data type is byte. So what is the use of byte? So anyone knows what is the byte use? Where we can use the byte
For storing 8 bit of data. For
in
storing 8 bit of data,
short,
we are using byte.
integer, and long. So so these four are used to store the numeric type of data or numbers. We can say numbers. So these are useful to store the numeric data. Okay. Then next, where we can use the double
For
and float.
floating numbers. For
So these
decimal
are,
numbers.
yes, fractional numbers. We can say fractional numbers. For example, we have to store 10 point something. So by using double or float, we can store that number. So these are used to store the fractional numbers. Okay, this is clear to all. These 2 points are clear to all, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So
yes.
next data type is seventh one is character. So here character is used. So character is useful to store the alphabet, and so for while we are writing the character, it can be write in a single quote only. So I will tell you how. So it is useful to store the alphabet, single alphabet. Huh? It is used to store the alphabet. For example, we have to store the A, suppose alphabet A we have to store. So how we can write the in character? So suppose character char c equals to, in single quote we can write and we can store the character, and here we can give the separator. It is called as a separator. So going forward I will tell you while writing the program. So like that we can store. Suppose we have to store the z. So here c is nothing but the reference variable. So don't get confused, guys. Going forward we all learn what is reference variable and all that. But for your understanding purpose I am telling you for explaining example. So suppose we have to store the z. So how we can write? So character c equals to, in single inverted comma, z, and here semicolon. So like that we can store the character by using the char data type, right? This is clear to all. Hope I
Can
am
you
audible.
please explain one more time?
Okay, so character is a primitive data types. Okay, so if we want to store the single character in a memory or in a we can use the if we want to use the character in our script or our program. So how we can store that? So by using char. So here it is called as the syntax. So don't get confused. So character char character, c is a reference variable, equals to, and it will always, we have to write it in a single inverted comma, only character if you want to store. Okay, if you want to string, suppose string non-primitive data type. So string that means the multiple character in a single, so that is called a string. For example, your name, it is called as a string also. So this is my name, it is called as a string. because it contains the multiple alphabet, right? So that is called a string. Hope this is clear. Hello.
Sir, please explain one more time about the string.
So going forward we can learn, but now, okay, suppose string is nothing but the combination of alphabet, nothing else. Suppose what is your name? Who is asked question? Hello,
Jasim.
Jasim.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Suppose we have to store your name. So what I have to do? So I simply write string because it is a data type. So string is a data type. So string, and we have to give reference variable. Reference variable we can give any name here. Suppose here R, we can take a R as a reference variable, but here mandatorily it is a, according to Java standard practice, it will write in a double inverted comma. So just see, we can write like that, and here it is a separator. Okay, this is clear to all.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so next data type our is remaining boolean. So what boolean used for? So boolean, it is used to store the either true or false. It is used to store either true or false. So true is used to, boolean is used to store the either true value or false value. Okay. For example, I have to store the true value. So how I I have to write. So I will return boolean. It is a data type. Then reference variable, we can take any name. Suppose I will take ref as a reference variable, and boolean then true. So here it is a, I will write for your understanding purpose. So it is a data type, reference variable, it is a, so data, and it is called as separator. Okay. So
Hello,
yes,
sir. Hello.
yes, yes.
Why we need to? Yeah, as a boolean. Boolean is a true or false. The statement is true, or the otherwise statement is false. I can understand. But
uh, uh,
why we are using
yes.
reference variable in middle of syntax? Why we using reference?
So we have to, if suppose we have to store any data, so while storing data, mandatorily we have to store that data in any variable. So for that purpose we are using here reference variable to storing the data. So how Java will understand where we can store the data?
Okay, got it. Got
Okay.
it. Okay,
Okay, hope
got
this
it.
is clear to all. Okay guys.
हेलो
Yes.
हेलो
Yes.
सर एक बार फिर से रिपीट कर दीजिए कि ये रेफरेंस वर्ड क्यों यूज करते हैं
Okay, suppose for example I want to store my name. So for that purpose, what is which data type I have to use? So in my letters, it is a combination of alphabet, right? So this is my name, Rao. Okay. So here R is one alphabet, A is one alphabet, H is one alphabet, U and L. So this is the combination of alphabet, right?
String.
String. So we can identify the data type, that is the string, right? Okay. And what is the string? Rahul. So Rahul is a
String
string.
is a collection of characters.
Okay. So, but
Combination
how
of characters.
Java will identify where Rahul can store in a memory. So for that purpose, we have to use here reference variable. So we can give the any name to reference variable. Suppose I will give here R is reference variable. So Java will understand, okay, Rahul is stored in a reference variable R. So from that, they can pick that name Rahul, my name. Okay. Hope this is understand to all. Okay. Who is asked question?
Can you?
So, yes.
Uh, yeah, I have a question. So, can you please present the board where you were like explaining the Boolean, wherein like you wrote like Boolean is a data type and this reference. So, can you? I just want to go through it once.
Oh, here.
The previous one, where. Uh,
Don't worry. I will send this on group, your group. Don't worry about it.
okay. Okay.
All that stuff I will send in.
I think this one. Yes, this is the one.
Okay.
So, what is written in the last row? Where is like reference?
Where?
The Boolean is a data type, and then
Yes.
there is a reference, right?
Okay. Reference means reference variable. We can take any name reference variable. So here,
Okay.
if you don't want to reference, so we can give here also. Suppose you can give your name also as well. So don't worry about that. Suppose I want to give is here T. T as a reference variable. So here we can give
Okay.
reference variable any name. Okay. Hope this is understand to all.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So next one is, so here we can complete our data types. So in yesterday or previous lecture, we will understand how Java internally works. So here I will means here tell you. So reference variable can store the all the data. We can give input here. So what exactly the data will store, where data will store. So for that we have to understand the JVM architecture, where exactly the data goes stored. Okay. So I will explain JVM architecture. So what is mean by JVM?
Java virtual machine.
Yes, right. Java virtual machine. So it is very important machine for Java language. So we can should see the two translator in Java in previous lecture. If I don't know how many you are present there, but in Java there are two translator, because translator are translate something into something. Translator are Java. So first one is compiler
And
and sec
interpreter.
interpreter, right? Interpreter. So two translator are present in Java. So compiler, what does compiler do? So it will convert the
Compiles the.
source file into dot class file, right? And interpreter does dot convert dot class file into the binary language.
Binary process.
Okay. So for interpreter, the who will help to convert the, because computer knows only binary language, right? So in last lecture I will discuss all that thing. So for interpreter, the Java virtual machine will help to convert the .class file into the binary language, right? So what is the means where we can store our all the stuff or all written program in Java. So for that we have to understand the JVM architecture for that. So I will draw some diagram here. Your first one is so it is a heap area. Then here we can call it as a class static area or static pool area. It is called as method area, and it is called as a stack. Okay. So in heap area what happen? So in heap area non-static members are present here. So here non-static member are present, and here static members are present. So don't worry about non-static and static. In going forward we can learn all these things. So but for understanding to JVM architecture, we just keep in your mind. So in if area there is a non-static members are present, and in class static area or static pool area there is a static members are present, and in method area both are present. Means static as well as non-static members are present. Static as well as non-static are present, and here is stack area is reserved for only main method. So here only main method is present in stack area. It will reserve only for main method. Okay. So how execution will happen? So here if we execute the program, so our program will execute from the heap area. So execution start from here, because in execution start from here. So here constructor will load the non-static members. Here what is meant by constructor and all that stuff will uh, learn going forward, and what is meant by method also I will learn in upcoming lectures. So here what happened? So after execution, so here execution will start, and constructor will load all non-static member here. So constructor will load all non-static member. Constructor load here non-static members, and from here execution will start, and here going, and finally here stop execution, and main method will work remaining works. Okay. So that is the architecture of JVM, so Java Virtual Machine. So I will explain once again. And here what happened? So here one class loader is there. So it will load the static members. Loader load the static members. So JVM architecture, we have heap area. Inside the heap area, we can declare the non-static members, and inside the static pool area, or we can say static class static area, we can declare the static members. And here automatically static members are loaded with the help of the class loader. And in method area, static as well as non-static members are declared method area. And in stack area, only main method are present. So stack area only main method are present. Okay. So this is the architecture of JVM, Java Virtual Machine. So this is not asked in any interview, but for just your understanding purpose, I am teaching. So no one is asked about tell me the JVM architecture or explain me the JVM architecture. So how the means program will store and how the memory allocation is done. So for that I am teaching you the JVM architecture. So hope this is clear to all. Up to this, anyone having any problem? Hello guys. Hope I am audible to all.
Not really.
Okay.
Clear.
What I am teaching?
Rahul, what is the difference?
Yes.
What is the difference between static and heap memory?
What is difference between?
Static and heap memory.
Okay. So here non means what happen going forward we can see learn. So in non-static means if you want to use the non-static member we have to create the object, and for static member we can directly call that member. So that is the big difference between non-static members and static members. Means what? So if suppose we have to create the object of the non-static members, we need constructor. So that means here the all non-static members by using the constructor it will load in a heap area, right? And static members all are loaded by the class loader. So that is the big difference, nothing else. Okay.
Okay.
So what we learned today? We learned.
Today we learn like data types.
Okay.
Primitive data type and
So
non-primitive data type.
from Monday I will what I am doing. So from Monday I will segregate you all you in five of each in one group. For this is for your internal mock group. So there we can you can all discuss what we learn in a class. Okay. So I will share you the sheet. So which member in your group and which your group number, all that thing I will share in you on Monday. And after that from next week we will arrange you for you to external mock from next Monday, next Monday. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So today we will stop here only. So
Sure.
yes.
I have one suggestion.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a lots of time wasting when you're writing on the board. Is it possible if you can already made a presentation and you just present in front of us, and whatever you wanna written, you can like write.
No. What happened? I don't made any presentation, so I don't even have time to make that all stuff. So that's why.
Okay.
No.
This is only better, Rahul. This is only
Yes. This
better.
is the only. I will share that all I have written here. I only share in your group, so you can understand if miss any point, or if you have to means you can miss any point. So you can ask me anytime. No worries about that,
Okay.
because that will take too
Hello?
long to make me the presentation on all this. Yes.
Hello? Rahul sir,
Excuse me, sir.
actually, my network issue is there, so I have missed that session today.
From where you can miss, you will miss
From startup, sir.
from starting.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, when all session is over, now I have connected.
Okay, author. Okay, wait, Satyan. I will explain in short.
Excuse,
Okay.
Oh,
हेलो
Yes.
एक्सक्यूज मी सर सर प्लीज एक बार ना जेवीएम आर्किटेक्चर वाला जो स्लाइड है उसको शो कर दीजिए और थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन कर दीजिए लास्ट में मेरा फोन स्विच ऑफ हो गया ना तो फिर छूट गया है
Okay. I will explain from uh, start. No worries. Okay. Okay, guys. So in today's lecture, we will learn about the data types. So in Java, there are two types of data. First, going towards the data types, I will tell you what is meant by data. So data is nothing but the collection of information. Okay, whatever information. So that is the collection of that information is nothing but the data. So data, where we can use data or where we can use the information. So information which is described property of any particular object. For suppose here pen is there. So here what is the property of pen? So property of pen is to write. Okay. So in Java there are two types of data types. First one is primitive data types, that is called as PDT, and second one is non-primitive data types. So that is we can call it as a NPDT. So in primitive data types, so there are 8 types primitive data types is there, and always we can write a primitive data types in lower cases always. So that is the standard practices of Java. So and all primitive data types are keywords, and memory size of primitive data types are fixed. Okay. So which are the primitive data types? So first one is the byte, second one is a short, third one is integer, fourth one is long, and fifth one is double, sixth float, char, and boolean. Okay. So in previous slide we can say the 8 data types, and in that all we are written in the lower cases, and memory size of primitive data types are fixed. So what is the memory size of primitive data types? So I write here byte memory size is 1 byte, short is having 2 bytes, integer is 4 byte, long is having 8 bytes, likewise double having 8 byte, float 4 byte, character 2 bytes, and boolean only having different memory, uh, that is 1 bit, because it store false and true. That's why the boolean having 1 bit memory size. Okay. So coming towards keywords, so what is mean by keywords? So keywords are predefined words which are used in Java, and keywords having the special meaning. So and it is always start with the small letters, and all keywords are used to perform the specific or certain task. The keywords examples are static, implements, extend, throws, public, void, main. So that all are the keywords used in Java, right? So coming towards the non-primitive data types. So non-primitive data types are infinite in numbers. Means there are multiple types of non-primitive data types, and it will start with the upper letter always, because it is according to Java standard practices. It will always start with the upper letter or capital letter, and all non-primitive data types are identifiers, and memory size of non-primitive data types are not fixed. The example of some non-primitive data types are string and class name. Here I write string S is a capital, and in class name C is a capital. Okay. So likewise we can write the non-primitive data type. So what is mean by identifier? So identifiers are nothing but the which are the name which are given to the class, methods, and variables. Okay. So coming towards the difference between the primitive data types and non-primitive data types. So here difference is clear. primitive data types is written in a lower cases, and non-primitive data types are always start with the upper cases. The primitive data type size is fixed and memory size is not fixed non-primitive data types, and all primitive data types are keywords, and all non-primitive data types are identifiers. And primitive data types having 8 types we saw there, and non-primitive data types are infinite in number. So some example are primitive and non-primitive data types. Okay, so what is the use of that 8 primitive data types? So I explain here. So byte, short, integer, and long. So these are used to store the numeric type of data. Okay, and double and float. These are used to store the fractional number. Fractional numbers means suppose I want to store 55 point something double seven. So that will I will store by using the double and float data types, right? So character is used to store the alphabet. Okay, but here while writing the character we can use or we have to use the single inverted comma because it is the Java standard practices. So Java is language, so we can write according to you, according to Java we have to write. Okay, so if you want to write the character, so here you use single inverted comma to write the character. Okay, so here also I am explaining the string. So string is nothing but the it is the combination of alphabet. Here I am writing my name Rahul, and it will store in a here C is a reference variable. Like that, here we can store by using according to you or according to our convenience. We can store by using different reference variable. We can give a reference name any name. Okay, so coming towards the Boolean data types, so it is used to store the either true or false value. Okay, so here I want to store the true value, so I will take the Boolean as a data type, reference variable as a T, and true is a data. Okay, and it is called as a separator. Okay, also here I will explain string, and then coming towards JVM architecture. So in yesterday's lecture, we learn about there are two translator used in Java to convert the different source file into the class file. We are using the compiler, that is Java compiler, and interpreter will convert the dot class file into the binary language. But here the for converting the dot class file into the binary language, the JVM will help interpreter to convert that dot class file into the binary language. So coming towards the architecture of JVM. So here in heap area there is a non-static members are present. Okay, heap area, inside the heap area we can declare the non-static members, and inside the static pool area we can declare the static.
Hello.
Oh, yes.
So what is the difference between compiler and interpreter?
So I tell now here compiler will convert the dot class file into the source file into the dot class file. So compiler will use to compilation process. Suppose we are writing program. Writing program means what? We can compile the program. We will not execute that. So for executing purpose, we are using the interpreter. Hope this is clear.
Got it, sir.
Okay. Okay. So here automatically the static members are loaded with the help of class loader, and in method area static as well as non-static members are declared or present, and in stack area only the main method are present. Okay, okay guys, today we will stop here only. if you have any question, so and Monday onwards we can start manual as well. So 1 hour for manual and 1 hour for Java and Selenium, right?
Okay, right, sir.
सर सैटरडे संडे में क्लास नहीं होगी ना?
नहीं नहीं, सैटरडे संडे छुट्टी रहती है क्लास को.